and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Welcome back to Harville. That moment, of course, when former U.S. Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, who survived an assassination attempt, led the convention hall in the Pledge of Allegiance, was one of the most moving, I think, of the night. It was something else, and the person with me right now is the one helping her get there. That's Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Thank you so much, Chair of this convention. My friend Joe Crowley, Congressman Crowley of Queens, New York, joins me right now. You know, first of all, Debbie, this is the best convention I have heard of ever. But the one it competes with, at least intellectually, is the one where Bill Clinton got nominated, where he picked up like 35 points. This is going to have such a bounce, don't you think?
This was, I think, I mean, if I do say so myself, number one, it was such a team effort. We had, thousands of volunteers, and Charlotte was an incredible host committee, and our staff was amazing. But this, I think on top of the fact that this was a great convention that did all the things a convention should do, fire up your supporters, make the case, lay out the clear choice, in contrast with what was such a negative anti-Obama convention last week, this one was positive and uplifting and forward-thinking and laid out the two paths and the two visions that we have in front of us.
Let's take a look at the... well, here's John Kerry rebuking Mitt Romney. This was a very good speech tonight. By the way, if he gave the only speech tonight, it would have been the best, because this was really good. For not thanking United States troops, this is him going after Mitt Romney for forgetting the fact we're at war in his acceptance speech last week. Here's John Kerry. Let's listen.
No nominee for president should ever fail in the midst of a war to pay tribute to our troops overseas in his acceptance speech. Mitt Romney was talking about America. They are on the front lines every day defending America, and they deserve our thanks.
You know, the difference between these conventions is unbelievable, Congressman. Yep. I don't know. Do you hear about it was like a business meeting people were forced to go to.
I watched a good bit of it, too.
This is about spirit. It's about people. It's almost like John Henry going against the machine, you know?
You know what I said yesterday, Chris? I was, one of my local media outlets grabbed me, and they said, how would you describe the feeling here? And I said, it might sound sophomoric, but it's happy. People are very happy here. They're enjoying themselves.
What is this about? Anyway,
the confidence or what it is, but it's been great.
Chris, that moment when John Kerry talked about the fact that Mitt Romney didn't even mention our troops that are fighting in Afghanistan now in his entire speech. You want to talk about a sin of omission at a convention?
Yeah.
That's the ultimate sin of omission. That you don't acknowledge
for more wars. He just doesn't want to deal with the results of the current ones. Anyway, here's President Obama poking holes in Romney's economic plans. He gave a nod to Bill Clinton, which he should. Let's listen.
Now, I'm still eager to reach an agreement based on the principles of my bipartisan debt commission. But when Governor Romney and his friends in Congress tell us we can somehow lower our deficits by spending trillions more on new tax breaks for the wealthy, well, what Bill Clinton call it? You do the arithmetic. You do the math. I refuse to go along with that.
You know, this is going to cause a problem for the Republicans, because when you keep treating it like elementary school, you're going to cut the corporate tax, you're going to get rid of the state tax, you're going to get rid of the cap gains tax, you're going to keep the Bush tax cuts, you're going to spend more, $2 trillion more in the military.
And cut spending.
It adds up to a much bigger debt.
And who pays for it? I mean, that's the bottom line. People can read through all this. You don't have to say it. They get it, you know. I also thought, Chris, tonight, for me, the president talking about the essence of democracy, citizenship.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great answer, and I think he followed through on it. Didn't directly talk about it. You know, the whole entrepreneurialism and the small businessman and woman, how no man is an island, how those words were taken, and I think really worked against the president. How about our men and women overseas, the men and women over decades who've sacrificed their lives for a free market system, for capitalism to survive, so that small businessmen and women, entrepreneurs, can have a country where they can grow a business? Those people died. And I think the omission by Romney in his speech to the sacrifices made, not only now, but forever.
But what would he know about the military?
Well, that's another issue.
He's had no experience even in that whole world. Anyway,
Nope.
I think the legitimacy question hit me tonight. The president has to say, I'm the president. The president of the United States has to show his documents
And he did.
because the right wing was demanding them.
Said he was
And yet, George Romney ran for president, having been born in Mexico. And John McCain was born in Panama, not the Canal Zone, Panama. And Barry Goldwater was born in the Arizona Territory. And nobody ever said, where's your papers to prove you're born in the United
And
States?
Debbie was born in Queens, New York. That's
I know, but I got to tell you, the fact that he's black is the reason they're asking for his papers. It's so obvious.
No,
Doesn't
come on.
anybody else get
But
it?
after a night like this and a week like this, what's important to focus on is that President Obama laid out the case that he's made decisions that were hard but right, that he inherited the largest set of problems at once of any president since FDR, and that he took on the tough problems we have, and that we've got a long way to go. And after Bill Clinton made the case that the problems that he inherited from failed policies of the past, we're going to be able to climb out of in just a few short years.
Great convention, madam.
Thank you.
You did it.
Thank
you.
you.
Debbie Wasserman-Schultz, the chair of the Democratic National Party. Anyway, U.S. Congressman Joe Crowley, a guy like me. I like him already. Anyway, up next, Hollywood came to Charlotte for the big night tonight. We're going to talk to Rosario Dawson and America Ferraro, actually, about the Latino vote and the Latino vote. You're watching MSNBC's live coverage of the Democratic National Convention.